Is the workplace actually at war with the worker? Hello, welcome to another episode of First Take by First Daily, a program where we discuss everything politics, lifestyle, health, and business. So today is Workers' Day, a day the world set aside to celebrate the people that keep everything working. The doctors, the lawyers, the nurses, the clerks, the builders, and the list goes on. But the question we are refusing to ask during this celebration is, are we celebrating the workers or we are celebrating their suffering? So I'll throw this question to my co-hosts to tell me their views. So what do you think?
The truth is, we workers, some workers, I don't want to personalize this, are literally just existing, not living, because you spend your whole day out there struggling, and when the government wants to like applaud you, they call it hard work, not knowing that you're actually like suffering, you're just existing, your time away from your family. So I feel like before the government to set aside days like this, they should make sure the workers are actually happy to celebrate this holiday set aside for them. Like, improving their salaries, their work schedules, bringing down their workload so that they can have time to spend with their families, and so that they will not just go back home during the holiday and then they're exhausted. They don't even have that time to, bond with their family members. So I think if they want to celebrate these days, these are things they need to look out for or put in place. Yeah.
So technically, when you look at it from another angle, you see that they know that these people are stressing, so they are giving them a time out of this routine life. Because most of us, we just walk around the clock. We already know, like, oh, this morning this is what I'm doing. I wake up by this time, I fix everything I need to fix. By so time, I'm already supposed to be at the bus station or at the train station. I'm supposed to get to the office at this time and all of that. So at the end of the day, you see that we're not even living, right? We're just walking round the clock like robots.
Some would say that the Workers' Day, like some a friend would say that Workers' Day is just to celebrate workers suffering, and you can actually see where that person is coming from, given that it's just one day in a whole year, and these are people that they are workers that their works are not they are not the most comfortable work that they are doing. The work is exhausting, and you're just giving them one day. Some are even after that one day they are still working at home. So this Workers' Day thing, so some people they don't see it as something worth celebrating because I'm just slaving away and you're giving me one day in a whole year to celebrate Workers' Day when I might still even be working. So I feel like everybody has their own ideology on what
Yeah,
Workers' Day
as
represents.
much as I would like to agree with you, I think majority of workers are really excited for Workers' Day. Imagine
That one day.
having that one day to unwind, to just
Mm-hmm.
rest at home and bond with your family, like you said, like you
Mm-hmm.
don't get to
But
bond with them.
Workers are exhausted.
Exactly.
so that one day safe, they might not even be using it to bond. Maybe it's just to like some Workers' Day is to sleep the whole day like
Like
that.
if I have that one day to rest, trust me, I'm not bonding with anybody. I'm going to bed direct. Because there are people that work sometimes 19 hours in a day. You go to the office, exactly. You go to the office, you wake up in the morning, the traffic, especially here in Lagos, the traffic to work, the traffic back from work. Before you get back home from work, you're already like exhausted. You have barely 6 hours to rest.
And then if you're not unlucky to marry a man that is not
Oh my
understanding,
God.
you still have to go into the
And,
kitchen to make food
and pound
for
down.
and pound yam and take care of the children and everything, and you
Take care of
still
the
have
man.
to and still take care of the man, and you still have to wake up very early the next day
Yeah.
to take care of the children, make sure they are well fed, they are prepared for school, you make sure that they've gotten to their school. Then you now still feel like it is too much. I think federal government, they should look into the welfare of these workers,
Workers,
right?
yeah,
But
labor law.
another thing is, I feel like if they should take like proper care of their welfare like that, like you said earlier, that they should increase their salary,
Mm,
give them like work leave and all of that. It's true that there are some people that actually enjoy the
like
whole,
reduce their
yes,
workload.
work leave and all of that, but there are still workers out there that don't get to go on these leaves. I feel like they are giving them this 1 day to rest because they know that they are overworking these workers.
Mm.
That's what I think personally.
And it's Nigeria self. So yeah, I don't think it's going to change anything. They've given you workers, they'll be grateful. So I think that's the whole ideology now. Like at least they gave us 1 day.
Yeah, let's use it and
Let's
rest.
use our
So
whole
after
body.
this day, you come back ready
Have
to
to be
conquer
hustle
the
and
world.
bustle. Yeah.
And most private sectors, they're not giving these opportunities. Like workers' day sometimes is mostly for civil servants, like teachers, and then some other civil servants. But when it comes to some private sectors, they still go to work on workers' day. So I feel like that's something that needs to adjust as well. Like when I mean private sectors, I don't mean organized um, offices. There are some businesses out there that they don't give these opportunities to their workers, like the malls. They still have to come to work. Sometimes they have to work like 6 days in a week. I feel like these workers, they should also like affect private sectors.
We need a more strict labor law in Nigeria, a labor law that actually functions. Because many workers in Nigeria are being abused and they don't even realize that, okay, this is an abuse of my rights as a worker. I'm not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be calling me on my off day around 10. Do you understand? Some people don't even realize that this is wrong. Do you understand? So I feel like if they create more awareness on labor law, maybe that would, help workers that are overworked out.
And then the crazy thing is, some of these workers, even some of them that don't like go to the office on this workers' day, you still see cases where some of them are working from home, like working back to back from home. That you have deadlines, you have things that you need to get done
You have
before
targets to meet.
exactly.
When your entire
So
day is swallowed up by commutes and the office, are you actually living a life or are you just a guest in your own home? I think we already brushed up on that. If you could expatiate more.
I guess we are just tenants. Let me use that word because we pay our rent, and then we barely even get to stay in our houses because we have to go to work and come back at odd hours sometimes. Sometimes you might even close early from work, but of course, Nigeria might happen to you, Lagos traffic and stuff, and then you end up being stuck in the road like for hours. And then by the time you get back to your house as a tenant that you are not living. There is no joy. You are just exhausted. Like sometimes people feel guilty. Parents feel guilty that they don't have to like spend time with their kids because of their workload or something. So I feel like we are literally tenants in our house, like you said, because we don't have time to spend. We just pay rent, we, and there is nothing we can do about it. Like it's normal. They've normalized it that a lot of people don't see anything wrong with it. Yeah, but that's a problem that needs to be tackled.
and at the end of the day, it still boils down. It still affects the children more. You see cases where children are growing by themselves. You see cases where it's just the maids taking care of the children. Children like this, they grow up with
Trauma.
trauma. They grow up with weird behavior. Like tomorrow, you see your child doing something and you don't even know where that child picked it up from. And you cannot blame them because you were not there to raise them. Do you get? And all of those things just.
Yeah, I recently saw a video of a lady, analyzing how it is to be a worker. I think she's an American, so I don't think it's even restricted to only Nigerians. So she calculated how many hours, commuting, going to work, how many hours they spend at work. And when she calculated everything, it was just like, give or take, you only have 2 hours to spend with your family, to rest, to eat, to do your house chores, 2 hours to just get everything done before you now get your sleep, go back to work and repeat. Even I said if for some people, even on weekends. So I guess that's the harsh reality of things right now. So I don't think most workers they are not actually living the life. They are actually just a guest in their own based on the kind of work they are doing. So how do we handle the guilt of knowing our jobs are getting the best version of us, while our family and kids are getting the exhausted leftovers? When you come back from work, you're tired. Your children want your attention, but you are human. You're exhausted. You're tired. Well, see, leave me alone. I'm tired. Just go and do this. You don't have time for them. How do you deal with that guilt as a parent or as a person or with your family? You don't even have to be, married. Your family members. You don't even have time to call. Even if you don't even stay with your family, you are too tired to even call. I can't remember when last I called my grandma. Now that I'm thinking about it, so you don't have time for family, for friends, social life, basically. So how do you deal with that guilt?
If you're a married person, like a family person, you need to, it's very difficult, but you need to find out time, sort yourself out at least 1 hour to spend with your kids, because it's really bad that your kids are growing up without getting to see you. They are coming to you, you are shouting at them because you're exhausted. That's understandable. But as a parent, your main priority shouldn't just be providing, it should be present in your children's life. I think parents should try to be there. 1 hour is enough. It's not really enough, but at least let your kids get to know you. Some of us will grow up and then understand why our parents had to work so hard to provide for us and why they were not really around. So, but you need to like create time, make a fun memory that when you are not there, they know that, oh, when mommy is back, she's going to do this. They have something to hold on to. And I think, like I said before, they need to adjust working hours, even if it's just to, I don't want to be biased, but even if it's just to adjust it for parents so they can have time to spend with their kids, I don't have any issues with that. But let's, I think, let working hours be adjusted so that we'll feel, parents will feel less guilty about not spending time with their family. Life shouldn't just be about to provide. At the end of the day, you are hustling, you are going out there doing all you have to do, and then you still come back with peanuts. You are not still able to like afford the basic things your kids need. As Nigerians, we know that no matter how hard we hustle, it's never really enough. So when you have that at the back of your mind, you just find a way to spend at least 2 hours with your kids. No matter how tired you are, they need you.
Nothing beats presence in the life of a child. Imagine a child having a function in school
And you are not there
and
as
you're
a
not
parent.
there. I've experienced it before. There was this time, the one and only time I was in a cultural dance in secondary school. I was dancing on the stage and I was looking around looking for my mom. My mom came, but she came late. She came after I had finished dancing. I felt really, really bad as a child. But I still understand. I understood my mom because she had like other things to do to for herself.
I have seen videos where a child is doing something and the parent is recording the child's reaction because
Oh,
just busy
yeah.
like, where's mommy, where's daddy? And when they see their parents,
Their
the
face just
joy.
lights up like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that's what you should take solace in the fact that, oh, when my child sees me, they'll be happy. And I feel like the happiness of your child will even take away the tiredness from if you're a true parent. Yeah, sometimes. So yeah.
Another thing is employees should try and make their work environment conducive. It should not be too rigid. Like I have okay, my child has a function in school. Please allow me go. There are some organizations that they don't mind. So long you're not dying, you have to be at work. Do you get? Or they'll tell you, oh, you're supposed to give us like 2 weeks notice. What if it's urgent? What if it's something impromptu that just came up out of nowhere?
In Paris, like there were French workers that protested, the strangers kind of the draining work environment they are, the kind of work lifestyle they are living. Also in China, there was this protest, this lying flat protest in China by workers too. In Nigeria, we've seen, doctors go on strikes and everything. So do you think that we've gotten to a point as in the world, got to a point where everybody's just like, you know what, if you're not going to make this thing okay for me, I'm not, in fact, I don't care if I go broke. I'm not doing anything again. Do you think we have gotten to that point yet, or we are still inching closer towards that point?
I think we have. Because if you look around you, a lot of people are clamoring for remote jobs. Everybody's just trying to get one or two things that they are doing that they don't need to go out to. So you get to spend more time at home with your family and all of that.
There's this thing my friend says that when you see a 9 to 5 worker doing another business, about just the person is inching closer to resigning. Because once that business takes off,
Clicks.
I'm leaving. That's a sign. So I genuinely think that we're actually getting closer to that breaking point. I just hope that that breaking point will not get to the point where people will start vandalizing their organizational structures.
I don't think it's to get to that point, especially now that a lot of people are like dishing out lawsuits as if it's something. I don't think anybody would want to. I don't think Nigeria can actually like stomach something like that because as a 9 to 5, how much is your salary? I know by the time you vandalize somebody's properties, you have to like pay for it regardless. Especially the masses that don't even have a voice, because there are some people that can do that and get away with it, but there are some people that can't even do that because their whole life will be drained. So I don't think Nigerians can actually do that. But yes, honestly, we've gotten to our breaking point where Nigerians are tired mentally, they are tired physically, going to work, and then at the end of the day, not getting enough thing to show for it, and drying up your pockets just to fund your way to work. Some people just work just to get transport to go back to work the next month, and that's even it's draining for a lot of people. So I think we are tired. That's why people go into businesses. A lot of people have small businesses, side hustles, because if you are sitting down to wait for your salary, especially government workers that have fixed salaries. There are according to like what I've heard, there are government workers that have levels. They have levels they need to attend to get a better salary. Those ones that are still in lower levels, their money is not even enough. By the time they've minus their pension, they've minus some certain things, the tax and everything, it's not even enough to like take care of their family. All they do is work to get transportation, to get sometimes a little bit of rent, because sometimes your salary cannot even pay for your rent, because exactly the way the increment of rent is going on right now, like you can save for a whole year and not be able to pay your rent. You still have to loan money from people. So yeah, that's when it comes to being mentally stressed and being tired. Nigerians are tired. That's just it.
So
A friend of mine that was intern, this one is an intern, oh, they were like 5 interns. Then that was that period when transportation went up. So they at that point the salary was not even enough. But now with the increment in transport, the transport money was more than the salary. They went to meet HR that okay, this is the situation of things and would like if you could add money to the salary, they said there's nothing
they can do
they
about
can
it.
do about it. Like they told them that okay, since there's nothing you can do about it, after this month, after you pay off, we'll be going. And she said no, wala. So I feel like at some point we need to be calling out some private organizations because there's always these private organizations. What do you mean you cannot find a way around? And these are your workers. They know how much you are making. Some know how much the company is getting in. And they're telling you that, okay, the salary you are paying me for my livelihood is no longer a livelihood. It's basically a transport money right now. And you are telling me there's nothing you can do about it. That's why I'm saying this about this labor law something to do. This labor law, we need more stringent labor laws that would, bring people to book. Do you understand? So it's crazy that people are going to work to get transport to work. That's their salary.
There are a lot of companies that can actually work remotely and then you let people come to work at the end of the day. In Lagos, they have little to nothing. Roads, there is
There's
traffic, the high transportation hike will be high, especially when there's traffic in Lagos. Everything definitely goes higher, and then people are talking at the end of the day, they have very nothing to show up for. So if you think and if you know your organization can actually work remotely and still work fine, I feel like you should implement that. Maybe once in a week you can come to work, or if you once in a month you can come to work. The company is still going to be around.
So what does a healthy job even look like in 2026? And how do we start demanding our humanity back? I think we already brushed up on all that.
To me, I think a healthy job is that job that allows you to live your life as a human being and not just exist. It gives you the right conducive environment to work. um you're able to be yourself, you're putting in your best, and then you're getting like the best, you're getting the best output out of it.
Okay, all right. So that brings us to the end of our podcast. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. As you already know, please like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all our social media platforms for Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Follow us at First Daily Media, and for our Facebook, follow us at First Daily. Thank you for joining us today. Have a good day. Bye.